Hey everybody, this is Cliff with Hamilton Transportation. Welcome to the channel. Today we're hauling this Cat 325 from the Port of Baltimore up to Perrysburg, Ohio. Hey everybody, this is Cliff Hamilton here with Hamilton Transportation. Today I am at Dundalk Marine Terminal. I'm getting ready to head in and get checked in. First I got to print out my paperwork to get checked in here. So if you're a trucker and you don't have one of these, you should probably grab one. They're a little expensive, but it is a thermal printer and it will connect Bluetooth to your phone, and then if you're in a pinch and you have to print something, you have it. So it's not the best quality, but it does give you the ability to print. So if you come to a place like the port down here, they won't print stuff for you. So you have to go to a little diner down here, and then they charge you like $1 a page to print or something. It's ridiculous. So it's nice to have. So if you guys watched the last video, you saw me deliver over to the other side of the harbor, to McComas Avenue over there, an old Cat 322 excavator. So I left there and I came right to here on the other side of the harbor, and I'm picking up a brand new Cat 325 excavator. Today's Friday, so that load is going out to Perrysburg, Ohio on Monday. But for today, I am just grabbing it and taking it up to Carlisle, where I park the truck, because it is actually en route. We're close enough to en route that it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'll take it home for the weekend, and then Monday morning I'll leave at sunrise and head to Ohio and get it delivered out there. So I can show you guys. So there's my my delivery instructions. Just tells them what I'm getting here at the port so they can check me in. And you can see the quality of this is not great, but it does work in a pinch to get something printed while you're in the truck and don't have access to a printer. What I should have done is printed this out at the hotel last night, or had the hotel print it, but I was already having them print a whole bunch of paperwork for the port on the other side of the water to get that old Cat excavator delivered. So I didn't feel like I could. Oh, thanks for printing 10 pages for me. Could you also print 3 more? I mean, they probably would have done it, but I didn't, so there you go. All right, so those are printed. I am going to walk in here and get checked in, and then we can go find this thing and get it loaded up. Just got back here to F row. Should be one of these two sitting right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and check the serial number on that. Actually, let's go do that. So I've got 50835. So see what we got. Yep, right there, 50835. So let's get broken down, and then we can get this thing loaded up. Alright, let's see if I get this thing loaded up. Take a quick gander. See if everything looks alright on it, no damage. Which it does. Yeah, all looks good. Oh my gosh. Must have been a short guy in here. Alright, hopefully that stays. You guys don't fall off. And we'll see about getting this thing loaded up. Try to give you guys different angles at stuff. I'm just going to spin the cab around here so we can see what we're doing. Around like that to get the drive motors towards the back. I discovered you can turn the beepers off on these things. That old Cat 322 I just delivered, it had a switch that you could turn the beeper off, and it turns out the new ones have it too. Man, this seat, very uncomfortable. Oh, that's better. Okay. So, good thing or bad thing about these little pavers or cobblestones or whatever it is is that tracked stuff really slides around on it pretty nice. So like I said, that can be good or bad. But with excavator like this, it's probably a good thing. There we go. Now, I think that looks pretty good. Put this out. Come down. Over a little. Now go back. That looks pretty good right there. Are we even? Oops. Other way. To be pretty even. Scoot that over a little. Maybe a little more. And I think that will do her. Let's get backed up. Well, this is working out pretty nice. Got loaded before lunch. Got my paperwork already. And we are actually 10:05. We'll call it 10:06 anyway. I hope this is going to reach. Of course it's not, which is okay. Just means we gotta use a little chainage. But that's all right. Oh, that's right. Cat makes their tie downs. It's an awkward size for getting a chain to it. So you can't get a slip hook into it. And you also can't get a grab hook into it. So really what I should have done, chain that one down to the lower plate. Down here. Now, right here. That side, my side. I use chain. That's okay. I really need to get some D-rings back here at the back of the trailer on the inside. And then I could do this back here the same way I did the front. Problem is I got no D-rings in there. So I am forced do it another way. You have these holes, which they clearly mark them as tie-down points. They are not big enough to get a hook through, a grab hook, and this is too wide across here to get a slip hook onto it to grab it. So I'm forced to use a shackle, and look how the shackle barely fits. So yeah, that's Cat's brilliant way of doing tie downs on their brand new equipment. You would think after all these years they could figure out how to make a tie down point that was worth something. Cat, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but there is an off possibility that there's somebody, an engineer at Caterpillar, that is watching this video. I would appreciate it if I didn't have to fight with tie down points every time I load one of these things. It's just quite ridiculous. I know these things are just welded onto the frame. Just use a little bit smaller piece of steel, and then same size hole, just a smaller piece of steel. I can throw a grab hook on there or a slip hook on there easy. All the other guys are doing it. John Deere, Case, just saying. Just saying. All the other guys are easy to tie down. All right, now we just got to get this old boom tied down. So I think we'll go right across here and hook. Don't want to scratch the pretty paint. Pretty yellow paint. Brand new Caterpillar. I know, I'm gonna get comments in there. We should get a fire hose. I know I should. But I'm lazy, fellas, I'm lazy. And this works. So, if it ain't broke, right? Stay. What do I do with all this extra chain? Oh, you know what I could do? And then a little bungee, a little bitty bungee, and that'll be right as rain. Put that on there, and then that hook can't come off, and you're set. All right, know what you guys are thinking. We're all done. But we're not all done. We still got to do flags and banners. We got to turn our lights on and our beacons. So let's get our stuff out of here. Now, I probably wouldn't have to run flags on the corners, but better safe than sorry, I guess. Better safe than sorry. We'll just give it the works. All right. Which side do you want to do first? You want to do the front or the back? The back? All right, let's do the back. we go. And let's put our exhaust cover on up top. So I know that there's another YouTube channel, 99 Projects, I think. Maybe it was Casey Liddell. I think it was Casey Liddell. No, it was one of the two. He did a test where he took a leaf blower and he stuck it on the exhaust. I think it was on an excavator, and full bore into the exhaust to see if he could spin the turbo, and it didn't do anything. So he says you don't need to do this, but I do know that Kat says I do need to do it, so that's the reason I do it. The theory behind this is that as you're cruising on down the road at, 65 miles an hour, all the wind blowing into that exhaust pipe up here will go down and it will spin your turbocharger. And because the engine is not running and there's no oil or coolant going to the turbocharger, all that spinning causes it to overheat and kill the bearings and kill your turbo. Now, whether that is true or not, I could not tell you. I have hauled some stuff without an exhaust cover on it. Didn't seem to affect it. The one thing I will say is that if you're driving through a bunch of rain and stuff, then I can see, you don't want a bunch of rain getting in your turbo. So that could cause some rust, corrosion, that kind of thing. So I can understand that point. I know that with trucks, a lot of the guys, they get the flat exhaust on the top, no curve on it. The guy that parks next to me, he had this problem. And what happens is as it sits and it rains, all that rain just goes down into the exhaust and it sits at the elbow of the exhaust, and then it rusts out. Now, that's a process that takes a while, I think, to rust through steel exhaust pipe. But, if you're paying $250,000 for a new excavator, I'd say putting an exhaust cover on it that's okay. It takes just a little bit of time. And if I was spending $250,000 on a piece of equipment, I would want the exhaust covered while it's going down the road too. You know what I mean? Now we're done. All right, guys, we are all loaded up. We are ready to head out. We are all loaded up down here at Baltimore. Got this Cat 325 on the trailer. So the weight on the spec sheet is about between 60 and 63,000 pounds. Let's see what we permitted. Okay, we permitted at 107,000 pounds, which puts this at about 61,000. So we are 107,000 pounds. Okay, so yeah, we're permitted at 107,000 pounds. Most times I put the camera outside to get off of the port. This time I'm just going to keep you guys right here at my new mount behind me, even though it's a little shaky. I do apologize for that. Hopefully the mic being up here on my horn picks everything up a little better. I have found out that the noise cancellation on this Bluetooth mic really it hurts more than helps. So I've been keeping that off. Hopefully, I feel like it's better to hear the truck, you know, a little bit. And as long as you can still hear me talking and the sound quality is good. So we're just going to keep that off. And I guess we're ready to roll out here. You guys will have to bear with me. I have to eat something. I haven't eaten lunch yet. I've unloaded and loaded an excavator this morning. So I'm getting pretty hungry. But I will get off the port first. Bunch of Cat 325s being picked up today. I saw one getting loaded up over back behind me. There's one right there. He's loading up. So like I said before, this one's going out to Ohio on Monday, but for today I'm just taking it up to the house. I think I can go out this way. It is Monday.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mundays.
So, hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. We are just about at sunrise. So we're going to be leaving here in just a minute to get out to Perrysburg, Ohio. Unfortunately, because of the route that Ohio gave us, we're not going to make it today. We probably won't get out to Perrysburg until, like, I don't know, 4 o'clock or 4:30. They have us taking a little two-lane back road all the way across Ohio, pretty much, from just west of Akron. We'll be on 76 through Akron, and then we get off 76 and get onto 224. And then we have to run 224 all the way across the state to 75, come north on 75 up into Perrysburg, which is just going to take a while. So that's kind of where we're at. But I think we are close enough to sunrise that we can get going. rainy here this morning. I'm hoping as the day progresses we get out of that rain, get some shots of climbing through the mountains on 80. Just have to see how it goes. I don't think it's supposed to be raining out in Ohio, but I don't know how far we're going to get before we run out of that. Wouldn't want you guys to get wet outside, so just staying here with me for a little while anyway. So, and then as we're running across Ohio, we'll have to try to find a load for tomorrow. I don't know what all is going to be on the board. So, since we're not going to make it all the way out there today, look at this guy. Wow. Good job, lady. Anyway, since we're not going to make it out there anyway, I guess there's no need to get in a big hurry. So we'll just take our time getting across. So we're just making it up here to the mountain up here, going up towards State College. Never remember the name of this mountain. It's like 7 mountains or something. Sand Mountain, maybe. But anyway, we're going to see how we do climbing at about 107,000 pounds. And I'm not trying to climb as fast as I possibly can. I'm trying to get the best fuel mileage I can. So I try to keep the RPMs between 1,200 and 1,450 or so. I find with this Cummins 565, if you let the RPMs get up into 15, 16, 1,700 RPMs, yeah, you're making a bunch of horsepower and it'll climb real fast, but it just drinks fuel. So I try to let her eat down to about 1,200 and then downshift. So here we go. We're in 12th gear, about 1,400, a little over 1,400 RPMs on about 25. Oh, now we're pulling down some more. Drop into the low side, we're down into 10. Looks like we're going to be able to hold there about 18 miles an hour. Just a heavy load and a steep hill. It's best when you're pulling, especially with a heavy load like this, but really any truck. Once you find a good climbing gear like we found, I'm not to the floor with this, but I'm probably 75-80% throttle. Find that sweet spot where you can maintain the climb and then just stay in that gear, especially when you're down in the low side. So I'm in 10th gear, which is the last gear before you have to switch ranges on the transmission from low range to high range. And going from that last gear in low range up to high range, that's the hardest shift. So once you find that gear, it's usually better to just stay where you're at and modulate your throttle rather than trying to upshift and downshift all the way up the hill. Get yourself into trouble. You miss a shift on a big hill like that when you're really heavy, and you lose speed very quickly. So then you're into the situation of what gear should I be in? Then you're trying to find a gear, and it happens real fast. So then you're in the moment thinking, should I go down 2? Should I go down 3? You know, where should I be trying to shift this thing? And it can be a lot of trouble. And the last thing you want to do is come to a stop on an interstate, you know, where the speed limit's 55 or whatever, and you're sitting dead in the right lane trying to get your truck moving again because you tried to shift. There we go, we got up and over the top. So we called out to the cat dealer where this is delivering. They receive until 4 o'clock. So unfortunately, I really don't think we're going to get there today. My GPS, the ETA it's given me is 340 right now. And we've got, you know, almost 400 miles to go yet. A lot of hills to climb. And then once we get into Ohio, we have a lot of back roads to take to get over to 75. And I would hazard a guess and say that it's going to be probably 4:30 or so before we even get up to Toledo, Perrysburg, and get a hotel for the night. Because I'm going to have to stop too, you know, potty breaks and just stretch a little bit. 480 miles all in one shot. I don't know anybody that can do that, so. And as you can see, it's just raining. So hopefully as we get west, we'll come out of the rain and get you guys out onto the excavator, a little bit of a view as we go across 80. Alright, so they're doing construction here where 99 meets 80. So when you pull a permit, they actually have you get off of 99 onto 80 east, and then you have to go up here a couple miles, hit the next exit, and flip around and come back west, which also adds time on. And I hate the way they did this. They have a stop sign up here, but I tell you this, I'm not stopping when I'm 107,000 pounds. Pick my spot and then I come out. Then it's narrow through here as well. And I missed a shift. That interchange. But I also don't know how long it's going to take them to build. They're building brand new exits there at that interchange. So I don't know how long it'll take them to do that. Alright guys, we finally get out of the rain, so I get you up here on top of the excavator and we can finish up Pennsylvania and roll through Ohio. Hey everybody, just made it here to the Quality Inn here in Perrysburg, Ohio. We're about 4.5 miles from delivery in the morning, so pretty good. Got real close, so it'll be an easy thing to get delivered in the morning. And then we actually booked a load out of Dayton, Ohio, headed down to Bristol, Virginia. So that's the plan. It's about 10 after 5, but the cat dealership, they stopped receiving at 4, so it just took a while to get across Ohio on all those back roads. Yeah, Ohio gave us a funky route this time. I guess they're doing construction on 23 and 250. So usually you'll come across 76 through Akron, and then you'll hit 224 like we did, but then you'll take 250 up, and I believe you run 250 all the way up to 23, and then 23 to 75, and then you come south down around Toledo to get to Perrysburg, which is a much shorter route, but they must be doing construction, because the past couple times we've come out this way, they've routed us around that. At least this time we didn't have to drop all the way down to 30, but you know, even 224, it just takes a little while, because you got to stop at stoplights and stop signs and go through some little towns. But we made it, and we will be delivered early in the morning, so we'll definitely be able to get down and get our next load picked up. But for tonight, I'm going to go in, check in, and relax, have some dinner. So I will talk to you guys in the morning. All right, good morning, everybody. It is the next morning. It's about 20 after 7. So sunrise out here is at 7:46. But according to Ohio, their regs, you're allowed to leave a half an hour before sunrise. So it is time for us to get going. Luckily, we only have 4.5 miles to get over to Ohio Cat. So we'll be over there pretty quickly this morning. I'm going to try to sneak out this front entrance here. And then we have to go down and around. So we can get up to a light and go left. Alright, let's go get this thing off the trailer. So that's that cat delivered. As always, I want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. If it's your first time here, check out my other videos if you like this kind of thing. So from here, I'm headed over to Dalton, Ohio. I'm picking up a pretty cool, it's a telehandler, I guess, but it's a telehandler that also spins. So it's a Manitou, I think, Manitou. Anyway, it's a pretty big telehandler that spins. It's gonna be a pretty cool piece. So tune into the next one and you'll get to see that. For now, from Perrysburg, Ohio, this is Cliff with Hamilton Transportation. I'll see you out there on the road.